Alright, so in this video, we're gonna take a look at the Polaris Ride Command app and try and determine if it's a useful app to have out on the trail or just a waste of your time. And we're gonna start right now. Say welcome to the video. This channel is all about providing you value through trail information, gear reviews, and just other ATV related content. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. And like I mentioned, we are gonna be talking about the Polaris Ride Command app. Now, if you've used it in the past, don't just click off the video if you think you know, because they have done a lot of updates over time. So it has changed since I first used it, which was a couple years ago, I think when it was a lot newer. Also, if you do use it or you have used it, make sure and leave a comment down below with any cool tips or tricks you figured out, or just your thoughts. If you think it's crap, let me know. If you use it all the time, definitely let me know that as well. Now, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, or when you think Ride Command, you think of something in the Polaris RZR, something like that, yes, they do integrate it directly into some of their UTVs. However, they've created a standalone app as well, and they claim the Ride Command, I guess, infrastructure, if you want to call it, has over 300,000 miles of trails and amazing capabilities for group rides. In other words, you can track each other, see where other people are at, all that kind of stuff. Now, we're gonna take a deeper look and really determine what it's useful for and if it's useful at all, because I did download this back when it was newer and I really wasn't impressed. However, it's changed a lot over time. So let's go ahead and we're gonna jump right into it. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and open up Polaris Ride Command here. Now, you wanna make sure you go ahead and allow it to track your GPS, otherwise it's really not gonna give you the features that you're looking for out on the trail. And then from here, you wanna choose the sport. Obviously, we're gonna choose off-road because ATVs are way better than snowmobiles. I'm just kidding, I like snowmobiling too, but I definitely do like ATVs more. Now from here, you can either log in or skip this option for now. So if you just wanna play with the app, you don't have to create an account. You can kind of, mess around, see if it's something you want. But if you do wanna start doing group rides and tracking each other, you would need to create an account. So I'm gonna go ahead and log in because I've already created an account. Okay, so here we are, we're at the basic map. It's zoomed in pretty far, which is why you don't see a lot, right? Now, you've got a couple options on the bottom. You've got your map, your group ride, your rides, and your vehicle. These four options are kind of your bread and butter of the app. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and zoom out, and I'm gonna find the trail we're gonna go on, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and zoom in on the trail that we're actually gonna go to, so I can actually search for that, and theoretically it should show up. And then it pop up here. So this is the trail we're actually looking at going to. Now, as you can see, there's actually a map already here. Now, I think this is mostly user input. That I haven't quite figured out yet. But theoretically, when we get there, that's kind of what the map should look like. So obviously, we'll find out when we get there and test that feature out. All right, so let's go ahead and jump to group rides. Now, the first thing you have to do is enable the group, and then either create a group or join a group. However you want to do it. You can invite people, you can leave a group. All right, now under rides, you can actually track your rides. So what's cool about this is if there's not a trail out there, you can basically create your own track, or if there is, you could still just create your own track anyway, just so you can see which portion of the trail you covered, all that. It'll give you some basic statistics like how far you went, top speed, different stuff like that, right? So that's kind of cool. All right, so now that we kind of have an overview of the app, we're gonna go ahead and go for a ride and see how she works out on the trail. And we're back, just like that. Now I realize it looks like I just left, but we actually went riding yesterday, so this is now the next day. It doesn't really matter. I have really mixed reviews on this app. There's some things I like about it, and some reasons I think it's absolutely a piece of crap. So let's start with what I do like about it. The group rides thing. The group rides thing is really awesome. The idea that you can create a group and then track each other as you're out on the trail, all that kind of stuff, that's a really sweet feature. The trails, I like the fact that it has built-in trails. So that in itself, when I was out on the trail, you could kind of reference it and see where you were at. In fact, one thing I really liked is it has a setting where you can tell it to stay on, right? And then I can just put it up on my dash. I have this awesome magnet mount set up on my scrambler. It's pretty strong and it's worked really well for me. So I can turn the screen on and just have the map up the entire time. In fact, I'll go ahead and put the link for that down below this video. It's like $15 maybe on Amazon, and it's worked really well for me. So definitely something to consider checking out if you're just looking for a cheap alternative on somewhere to put your phone. Other things I like about it, the fact that you can add a vehicle and track your maintenance, that's kind of cool. I do like that you can save trails and share trails and create waypoints and all that kind of stuff. That's definitely awesome as well. All right, so now what I don't like about it. First and foremost, and probably the deal buster for me, is it randomly makes tracks where I did not go. So it creates like these lines, as you can see here, for where I didn't go. Now, I originally thought maybe this was my phone, but I had another GPS app running at the same time, one that I've just used for a long period of time, because I kind of wanted to see if they were going to show the same trail and all that type of accurate information, and they were not the same at all. The Polaris Ride Command, as you can see, would shoot out these straight lines and then just come back, and it would add distance. It would make it look like I went places I didn't go. I don't know what that's about, so I even tried resetting the app, doing it again. I had the same thing multiple times. It was totally sporadic. It was only the Ride Command app that was doing it. That in itself is borderline a deal buster for me. Now, the second thing I didn't like about it is you need a data connection to track other riders, which makes sense, right? Because if I'm somewhere and you're somewhere and I want to tell you where I'm at, that has to go through the cell phone towers. It has to use data. Now, cool, maybe, depending on where you're riding. However, I find that I'm often riding where there's no data. So if you have data, awesome. If you don't, it doesn't really work. The trails themselves are not entirely accurate. As you can see, the thin line there, that's me. And then this thicker line is supposed to be the actual trail. There's plenty of spots where they're not actually the same. Some places they are, but a lot of places they're not. And I noticed that in different areas. We actually ended up going to a different trail and trying it there, and I had the same issue. It worked great as a reference, but it did not actually seem to match up entirely. And then another big thing that I don't like about this app is they try and claim like it provides good trail information or, you know, areas of interest. It really doesn't. What I did find is I could look up Polaris dealers anywhere I wanted to, but it didn't really provide trailhead information. It didn't necessarily provide a lot of the places around that I could get grub along the trail, anything like that. So I'm sorry, I don't even think Polaris should advertise that they provide information like that, because quite frankly, outside of Polaris dealerships, they don't really provide a lot of it. So overall, I think this is a decent app. I'll probably keep it on my phone, but I wouldn't rely on it. I'll maybe use it as a reference from time to time to try and get some sort of trail information as to where I am in reference to the rest of the trail. Just otherwise, I don't know, it's got a lot of glitches, it's got a lot of issues. I'm definitely not going to use it as my main source for tracking my rides. I'll continue to use the other app that I've been using for a long time, and I'll put a link for the description down below on that. It's totally free. All right, so if you've made it this far already, thanks a lot for watching the entire video. I do truly appreciate it. Do me a favor, click that thumbs up if this video is helpful, subscribe if you haven't already, and I hope to see you on the trail.